And so like this and like this. And we'll go full screen. I said we'll go full screen. Excellent. All right, so part 17. Coming down to the end, create a new drawing. Base template. Wait for it to load. And 17. And 1 to 3, maybe. There's no way 1 to 2 is going to work. So we'll go ahead and do that for our base view, our front view. And top, front, right, front, and top right. Turn this off. Okay, so we definitely didn't have enough space to go any bigger. Let's do shaded view. And all 3 of these, I think we'll have 1 hidden line. Right here, maybe. Oh, no, 2. Okay, so there's already an interesting situation where the only place that this curved edge is located is with a hidden line. Okay, but we want to show our dimensions of curved edges where they look like a curve. So we are going to have to deal with that. And so let's go ahead, do center marks. We have a center mark there and a center mark there, which that's kind of ridiculous. Let's shrink this a bit. For that, I don't really mind that. And we don't have any through holes on this one. So we're good on edge to edge center line. And so we have our center marks. Let's do sizes of the curved surfaces or curved edges where they look like a curve. So there we have a radius there. And then here we just have to go to the hidden line. There's not much to do about it. Okay. And let's go ahead and we can shrink our precision to, I don't know, 2 decimals is probably fine. We'll see how crowded it gets. Okay, we have sizes of curved surfaces. Now we need locations of curved surfaces. So up here we need, well, we know its total width is what lines up with this. And then the other direction is this. Okay, and I need to rearrange this. Let's go ahead and make this look a little better. I don't know, it's about good. And size and location for this one is just going to be total height and total depth, which we will handle, excuse me, will be taken care of when we get to, well, that will already be taken care of when we get to that. So now we just need to go through. So for each curved surface, we have its side to side dimension and up and down dimension. It's not always height and width because here the 6 is actually depth. But either way, on this view, we've located the center mark 2 directions. And we have its size. Same thing here. We've located the center mark 2 directions and its size. So we're good. And now we just need to go through our width, height, depth. Okay, starting on the left thing, the first thing that happens is this edge, which looks like it might be something taken care of, but it's not. It's how far in this curved cut goes, and that's not shown anywhere else. I mean, it is shown here, but we've not already shown it. And between these two, they are about the same. No, they are the same. Next thing that happens is the distance from the left to this hidden line, but that's already taken care of because it is, we know from this radius that the distance in is 2, which is why it works out to be the same. And then only other width is total width. height down to up. First thing that happens is the height of this edge right here, but that is really just total height. Total height, I don't know why I can't get it together. Total height minus the radius of our curve, so we don't actually need that 1 inch one. And only other height is total height, and we've got that. Okay, depth front to back. First thing that happens going back is the distance from here to here, which we don't need because we have the distance to the center mark is 3, and this arc goes back 2, so it's already implied. The viewer can infer it. Okay, we've got the distance from the front to the center mark. We've got the distance from the front to this other edge, same as the first. We already have it. You can subtract it. And the only depth is total depth, which we've got. So you can see when these parts that are sort of the main characteristics of these are curves, they're pretty much handled when it comes to taking care of them first. So let's rename this and ship it. There we go, part 17. Part 18. And I think the rest of these, well, this is probably the only difficult one remaining. Yeah, the other ones are pretty easy. So let's do a new create drawing, base view. And we are up to part 18. And it's at 1 to 5. I'm pretty sure we can fit 1 to 4 in there. There's always going back. Well, we'll see. It's kind of tall. So front, top, front, side, front. Yeah, we're gonna have to, well, it does it fine there. And turn off projected view, right click, show hide, shaded view. And front, side, show hide hidden lines, which we'll have a couple for sure. All right, so center marks for curved surfaces. They gave us this through hole, which is the only through hole we have. So we are going to have to do that edge center line. But other curved surfaces, we have this outside curve, which the center mark didn't give us. The center mark that was there a second ago doesn't tell us that it's the same center point. What is going on here? Let's do a touchpad. So we do need to click on the edge there. Okay, curved surfaces up here are this and this. And there are no curved surfaces here. So we need to do our center line edge, which is the distance between, or no, not the distance, but from here to here. That shows that this hole goes all the way through, which you can't tell just by looking at it. Now, the isometric view gives you added information because you can like see it, but to show that like it could be a very small, like tapered circle where it gets like smaller as it goes in, and you couldn't tell that from here, but you can tell that it's a perfect cylindrical hole because these lines are horizontal as opposed to like tapered in. And all right, so we have, oh, we need, so some dimensions. We need the sizes of all the curved surfaces. We have this outside one, which is a radius of 4. That's good. This inside one is a diameter of 4 because it's dimensioned by diameter. Let's shrink it down. I don't know. Let's go 2 decimals. I think there might be a 1/2 inch here. So that would be useful. And so that's curved size. We need some curved size up here, which we have 2 identical things on the same view, on this top view. So we can add the TYP denotation. And so that's the size of every curved surface. So now we just need locations of the curved center points. So this one in two directions, we have here to here. That definitely gives us some important information. And the only other, oh wait, hold on a second. This hole goes all the way through the top. We need one of those on the top, I just realized. Okay, and the total width is actually handled by this radius of 4, goes 4 this way and 4 this way. So I think that's handled because there's no way that would work any other way. So there we go. We have this location, two different directions, vertically and horizontally. Then we need this one, two directions, which it's going to get kind of crowded here. Plus we already have this. So let's do distance from the back instead of from the front. And I think that's actually it. Because we know we're going to have well, we already have total width, and the distance in is the same as the radius. I wonder if we've been doing that unnecessarily the whole time. Oh well, that's fine. And you can tell from the fact that there's only one line down here on the right side view that everything here lines up exactly. Okay, so we have size and location for this, size and location for both of these. And now we can just go through and do our width, height, depth. So dimension, first thing that happens is actually this edge right here. And we can do it a couple ways. We can do it the distance from the side of everything. And that's probably fine. It's kind of messy here, but we can do it between these two. This is fine as it is. And then keep going left to right. The next thing that happens is the other side of this. And the last thing that happens is total width, which we've already got there. Okay, height down to up. First thing that happens is the height of this ledge, which is absolutely better here because it goes to a contour of the shape, where over here it's just an interior line. Next edges, this is the bottom of the circle that's handled. This is the center of the circle, which we got there. This is the top of the hole that we got there, that we got because of the size. And then total height is just the 6 plus the 4 radius, which if this is 10, we know it's exactly right. Yeah. Okay, and then depth front to back. We know this distance. We know the distance between here and here because it's just this same location, the same center point, looking at it the other way, so we don't need that. We do need this size here, which is going to be better over here because it looks like it's part of the shape or part of the contour. Need to give it some more room. And then that's it. You could remake this entire part with only the 9 dimensions. This is very unsatisfying over here. You can leave it like this, but I would consider doing like this distance, although that crosses over. Which one did I delete? Oh yeah. Doing the dimensions like from here. Then you get that other issue. Like using this as sort of the anchor point. I don't know. I think this is probably better. Always with the trade-offs. Okay, so there is drawing 18. Let's rename it such. There we go. And I think that's the last hard one, or last one with a bunch of curved surfaces. So 19. New drawing. And eventually, okay, 19, the penultimate shape. This one I'm pretty sure we can get 1 to 3 in. Yeah, it looks fine. Okay, right click, show hide shaded lines. And first click, second click, third click. Show hide hidden lines, which will have a couple. All right. Curved surfaces. We only have one curved edge here. And all right, so here's something to notice. If you choose it right here, you can see how the brown area that highlights is only this right side of the arc. That will give us a radius. Oh no, we already got the center mark. That's our only curve. When we do dimension, if you click on this right side, you're going to get a radius dimension. And this other side, same thing, which I don't think does a good job of explaining that this goes all the way through. And the reason why it's like that is this one right here is just this edge. And this one right here is the other edge. And they are just arcs here, but in the back, it's a circle. And I think we're going to leave it like this because, I mean, we could go in and change it to say diameter, diameter 4. And no, let's just keep it radius because it is technically 2 arcs. And from this front view, it is 2 arcs. Okay, and let's get rid of a couple decimal points. Okay, so that's size of curved surfaces. Now we just need, oh wait, we need edge to edge because we have a through situation and it's between there and there. It's not, this is not, these edges are not needed. If you recall the way we made it, we just found the center point and made a circle big enough and cut it all the way through. It had nothing to do, the location of this circle, the center mark or any part of it has nothing to do with the sloped line. So it's not related. We just need we have the size of the curved surface. We have, oh wait, this one goes all the way through also. And now we just need the location of the curved surfaces, which is its vertical location and its horizontal location, which has to be from one side to the other. We already have this line here, so I'm going to go this way. I'll get it there. And even though we could do it like here, you want as many dimensions related to a curved component where it looks curved. So we'll leave it there. So we have our size and size of the curved surface and location of the center mark 2 ways. And that's good. Okay, so now we can just do height, width, or width, height, and depth. Left to right, the first thing that happens is this hidden line, but that's really just the distance. That's really just the edge of the circle, so we don't need it. Next thing that happens is the distance from here to here, and we didn't need that when we made it, if you recall, which is this edge here, so that's good. Next thing that happens is this edge, but this edge is just where the sloped line meets the curved surface, and we didn't need that to make it, so you don't need it here. Next thing that happens is we've got that center line, we got it already. Same thing with the other side where this point meets the curved surface. It was just part of the extrusion, and you could tell by the fact that it's a decimal or other than 0.5 or a whole number of inches that they aren't going to be needed because we never typed in 3.6 or 5.48 as a dimension. So we don't need those. And then only other width is, oh no, we need to the other side of this sloped edge, which is there. So we're going back, and the only other width is total width, which we could do front or top always, but I've already got this radius thing going on here. So I'm gonna put it on the top view just so it doesn't get conflated. And there you go, a lot going on width-wise. Okay, height-wise, we don't need to know the location of this point because it wasn't part of making it. We do have the height of the center. We don't need the location of this point. What did I just do? Okay, we don't need the height of this point because we didn't need it when we made it. And the only other height is total height, which can go either front or right side view. Okay, almost done. Depth front to back. Working front to back, we definitely need the location or the distance of this ledge, the sort of inset cutout. But we're already crossing an extension line, so we can do the reciprocal, which is right there, and we still get all the benefit of contour between adjacent views, everything, and we don't have to cross over an extension line. And then the only other depth is total depth, which we have the same issue here, crossing over, so we could just do it here. And that's it. Okay. Center marks, size of curved surfaces, location of center points, two ways, anywhere they're circular. Then go through our width, height, depth. Okay, and rename it, and only one more to go. Drawing 19. And part 20. This should be pretty quick. Great drawing. All right, so we're back. And okay, so new drawing. Last one. Let's make it a good one. Resource does not exist. That's strange. Okay, part 20. And it thinks 1 to really. What just happened? Insert view. Unauthenticated API. That's weird. All right, let's try that. Let's okay. Insert. Which, in case you didn't know, the insert view tool is what pops up automatically when we get here, in case you need to go back at all. Yeah, there we go. 1 to 3, that's fine. Front view. Eventually. Top view. front view right side, and front view top right. And I think we are going to have a hidden line, but just to be sure, we go ahead and do that anyway. Right click, show shaded view. And show hidden lines, should be one right there. I think that's it. Yep. Okay, let's do it. So center mark, it's curved here. And that is absurdly big. Let's I don't know how it determines. I guess it has to go through the edge, and it's such a big arc, but I definitely want to shrink it. Wish we could make it a different size, but that's fine. Let's give it some space so it doesn't interfere with the front view. Okay, so we have center mark. Doesn't go through anything. This is the only place anything is curved. Everything else is square, at least to the view, it's orthogonal. So we don't need this. We just need location of center mark, which it's in the corner. So we have total height and total depth. And that's it for that. Okay, let's do go through our regular spiel for one more time. Left to right, first thing that happens is that. Left to right, the next thing that happens is that. And I missed the click. And the only thing that happens is total width, which is fine right here. Good to go. Okay, height down to up. The first thing that happens is this, but we don't need it. The reason we don't need, oh, I forgot to do the size of the arc. Excuse me. Sorry, it won't happen again. There we go. Size of the arc and location. We're good. And so this height of this first ledge, we don't need because we have total height and we have where this arc goes. And again, if you recall, when we made it, we didn't need to put in that dimension. We just made the arc and cut it all the way across. So we don't need this for height. And the only other thing that, well, there is the location of this, which if you recall, we made a square that was 3 by 4, or a rectangle rather. And we've got the 4, which is the difference between these two. But we need to do the height. And excuse me, could put it here. Not terrible. Could put it here. It's kind of in the view. Not crazy about it. I would say either here or the reciprocal. I think maybe this one, because this is the height that we use to make it. Although again, it doesn't, you could use it, count it either way. You know, counting up or counting down, it's going to be the same. And then the only other height is total height, which we've got here. Then depth front to back. First thing that happens is this ledge, which you can tell we didn't need it. Look at the decimal, 2.646. We definitely didn't type that in, so you can tell that it is a inferred dimension or implied dimension, depending on what your role is. And so we don't need that. Next thing that happens is the distance from here to here, which we don't need because that's really just that. Okay, so we don't need this because that's really just the distance. That is exactly the distance of this arc. Because we're counting from it. And the other depth is total depth, which we've got. And I think that's it. Let's do, well, first let's rename it. And let's do a honesty check on, okay, just count the dimensions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many did we use when we made this? Okay, sketch 1. There's 2. There's 3. 4, 5, and 6. Why? Oh, because the extrusion counts as 1. The distance that we extruded it forward was 5. So there you go. That's all there is for number 20. Okay, so if you have these done, I'll open up a grade and I'll start taking anything you're missing. And just to give you some incentive to get your work in, I'm going to put some zeros in as a space holder so your grade is a little more accurate. And that's it for this one. The replay will be up